Stop waiting. Stop praying for a miracle. Stop sitting on your hands hoping life fixes itself. Hope is a lie. They sold you to keep you weak. Winners don't hope. They execute. Losers hope. Which one are you? Oh, you know why most of you are broke, depressed, and stuck. Because you're addicted to hope. You wake up every morning thinking, maybe today's the day it changes. Maybe someone's going to call me with an opportunity. Maybe the universe will bless me. It's pathetic. Hope is a drug for weak men. I know because I was there once. I remember sitting in my flat in Luton broke as hell. The carpet was stained, there were holes in the walls from my temper, and I had about 20 pounds in my pocket. No car, no status. I had people around me saying, don't worry, bro, just hope things get better. And for a while, I believed them. I hoped that somehow I'd catch a break. Maybe I'd get a big kickboxing fight. Maybe someone would notice my potential. But guess what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Days went by, weeks, months, and I was still broke. Hope didn't pay the rent. Hope didn't fill my fridge. Hope didn't change a damn thing. You see, hope is procrastination in disguise. It's the story you tell yourself so you can stay lazy. It's comfortable. It lets you avoid taking responsibility because you're waiting for your time. But let me tell you the truth. There is no time coming. Nobody's coming to save you. No mentor. No lucky break. No magical alignment of stars. It's all on you. I had to snap out of it. One day I looked in the mirror and I hated what I saw. I wasn't a man. I was a boy pretending to be a man. I had potential, sure, but potential is worthless if not converted into action. So I made a choice. I stopped hoping and started doing. I sold my car for scrap, used every penny I had to start a webcam studio, and worked 18-hour days building it from the ground up. I didn't hope it would succeed. I made sure it did. When my bank balance hit zero, I didn't pray for a miracle. I sat down, made calls, sent emails, pushed harder. Because if I didn't, I'd starve. Do you understand how dangerous hope is? It convinces you that you've got time. You don't. You think you're young, you're not. Life is a blink. Every day you waste hoping is a day your competition is outworking you, getting richer, stronger, faster. While you're in bed scrolling Instagram and hoping to feel inspired, someone else is making money moves that you'll never catch up to. When I was fighting in Romania, I didn't walk into the ring hoping to win. I walked in knowing I'd win because I'd killed myself in the gym for months. I'd sparred until my nose bled, ran until my legs gave out, and trained through injuries. Hope doesn't get your hand raised. Work does, pain does. Obsession does. I don't care if you're sitting in your mom's house right now, broke and lost. Stop hoping. Hope didn't make me a multi-millionaire flying around in private jets. Ruthless self-discipline and relentless action did. I wasn't lucky. I wasn't handed anything. I built everything because I refused to sit around hoping for a rescue. There were nights I slept 2 hours because I had to get websites online. There were days I ate one meal because I had to reinvest every pound back into the business. My bank froze my accounts once because I moved so much money so fast they thought it was fraud. I didn't cry. I didn't post quotes about trusting the process and wait for life to reward me. I called the bank, fixed the problem, and kept moving. Men today are soft because they've been fed lies their whole lives. Lies like good things come to those who wait. Bullshit. Good things come to those who take. The lion doesn't wait for a gazelle to walk into his mouth. He hunts. He chases. He kills. You need to be a killer in your own life. Kill your excuses. Kill your laziness. Kill the false hope that's keeping you broke and replace it with iron discipline. I'm telling you this because I lived it. I know the pain of being nobody. I know the hunger of seeing others live the life you want while you rot in mediocrity. But I also know the power of waking up one day and saying, enough. From today forward, I don't hope, I act. I don't wish, I work. I don't wait, I take. Because hope is for losers. Winners create reality. You know what's funny? Everyone's got ideas. Everyone's got plans. You sit down with some broke guy and he'll talk for 2 hours about the business he's going to build, the six-pack he's going to get, the car he's going to drive one day. Intentions, just noise. But look at his life. He's broke, out of shape, and working a job he hates. That's the difference between a loser and a winner. Execution, not thoughts. Not dreams, execution. That's the only thing the world gives a shit about. When I was dead broke, sleeping on a mattress on the floor in a freezing flat in England, I had plenty of intentions. I had goals just like the rest of you. I wanted the cars, I wanted the freedom, I wanted the lifestyle, but wanting it didn't mean anything. The rent was still due. My bank account was still empty. The world didn't care what I intended to become. It only responded to what I actually did. You know how many people told me they had the next big idea? Dozens. Yo, bro, I'm about to launch this app. It's like Uber for haircuts, bro. Just need a little capital. What happened? Nothing. No launch. No users. Just more excuses. Why? Because ideas are easy. Execution is pain. Execution is waking up early, getting punched in the face by life, and still pushing forward. When I started my first real online business, I didn't know anything. No one held my hand. I didn't go to some elite school. I didn't have a bunch of investors or a mentor or some family friend who guided me. It was just me, a beat-up laptop, and a will to win. I made mistakes. Tons of them. I built things that didn't work. I lost money, but I kept pushing, adjusting, adapting. Because I understood one thing early, action beats intention every single time. I remember calling up random girls to work on webcam, trying to convince them of the dream. Half of them laughed at me, said it sounded stupid, said it would never work. And you know what? I didn't argue. I didn't try to justify my idea. I just kept building. I built the studio, I built the system, and once the money started rolling in, those same people suddenly saw the genius. That's the game. The world ignores you when you're planning, but it celebrates you when you win. No one's going to applaud your goals. You think people are clapping for you just because you want to be rich? You think they care that you bought a self-help book or watched a podcast? They don't, because that's what everyone does. You know what's rare? Ruthless execution. Actually doing the boring, painful, gritty work every single day without complaining. I've had days where I worked 20 hours with my eyes burning from the screen, building websites, editing, writing emails, handling drama, managing people. No sleep, no parties, no rest. But I wasn't working for applause. I was working for results. And when the results came, people thought I was lucky. Like luck had anything to do with it. You see, society is set up to reward the finishers. Nobody cares if you tried. Nobody cares if it was a hard or you almost made it. You either do or you don't. Period. It's binary 0 or 1. Win or lose. When I was kickboxing, it didn't matter how hard I trained in private. So that I got in that ring and didn't perform, I got knocked out. That was the truth. The fight was the test, and nobody cared how hard my journey was to get there. You think the judges were going to give me points because I had a bad week or didn't sleep? No. Execution in that moment is all that mattered. Same in business. Same in life. Some of you are still clinging to intentions. Still saying, I'm going to start soon. Soon never comes. Soon is just a coward's way of saying you never. If it mattered, you'd do it now. You'd suffer now. You'd sacrifice now. You'd bleed now, but you won't because you still think your intentions matter. They don't. Let me make this as clear as I can. The world only pays you for results. No one cares about your potential, your dreams, your hustle, unless it's backed by outcomes. You can say you're working hard, but if you're not stacking cash, leveling up, dominating your space, then you're just pretending. You've got one life, one shot. And if you think you're going to win by thinking about it, you've already lost. Execute or be forgotten. I'm going to say something most of you aren't ready to hear. Hope is weakness. Hope is what keeps you soft, keeps you sitting on your ass, keeps you believing that life will eventually hand you what you want. You've been brainwashed since birth to stay hopeful. Your parents told you, your teachers told you, movies told you. It's all a scam. Hope is a tool they use to keep you passive, docile, obedient. And the worst part, you believed it. I know because I believed it too. When I was broke, I used to lay on that thin mattress in a freezing flat, staring at the ceiling. I was hungry. I had no heating. I could hear rats in the walls. And I would think, maybe something will change. Maybe if I stay positive, the universe will throw me a bone. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and nothing happened. I was still broke, still invisible, still a nobody. That's when it hit me. Hope wasn't helping me. It was killing me. It was the reason I wasn't moving. Hope tricks you into thinking you're doing something when you're doing nothing. You hope you'll get rich, but you don't work. You hope you'll get fit, but you don't train. You hope she'll come back, but you don't level up. Hope makes you wait. Action makes you win. And until you understand that, you'll be stuck in the same miserable loop forever. When I started fighting, I didn't walk into the gym hopeful. I walked in angry, I walked in obsessed. I trained like a savage because I knew hope wouldn't protect me in the ring. Hope won't stop a punch. Hope won't keep you conscious when you're getting smashed with knees and elbows. Only preparation, pain, and persistence will. I remember one of my early fights in Eastern Europe. I had no money, no coach, no team. I flew out alone on a budget airline, cut weight in a hotel bathroom, sweating like a pig, eating nothing for 2 days. I hoped I wouldn't get sick. I hoped my opponent would be weaker than he looked. But when that bell rang, all hope evaporated. It was just me, him, and reality. The first round, he caught me with a liver shot that nearly folded me in half. I couldn't breathe. I remember thinking, nobody's coming to save me. No amount of hoping is going to get me out of this. Either I fight or I die in here. And I fought. I clawed my way back, won the fight, and got paid just enough to buy a flight home. That's the lesson. Hope doesn't save you. Only action does. It's the same in business. I didn't sit there hoping clients would find me. I cold called them, emailed them, pitched them, sold them. I didn't hope the website would magically go viral. I studied algorithms, marketing, copywriting, and tested every possible strategy until something worked. I didn't hope money would rain from the sky. I bled for it. But look at most people today. They're passive, soft. They sit at home scrolling Instagram, watching motivational videos, and think they're doing something. They tell themselves, it's okay, my time will come. No, it won't. Your time isn't coming unless you take it. Nobody is out there planning your success. The universe doesn't owe you a damn thing. You want results? Take responsibility, build the habits, suffer now or suffer forever. The system wants you hopeful because hopeful people are easy to control. They're harmless. They stay in their jobs, pay their taxes, don't cause any trouble. They believe in a Luke or fate in a manifesting. But the truth is, luck doesn't exist. Fate doesn't exist. Manifestation is bullshit unless it's backed by brutal work. When my bank accounts were frozen because I was moving too much money too fast, I didn't sit there hoping the problem would solve itself. I called them up, fixed it, found a workaround, and kept pushing. I didn't cry or post some inspirational quote about faith and patience. I acted because I knew nobody else was going to fix it for me. This is the mindset you need. Stop hoping and start doing. Replace every I hope in your life with I will and mean it. Say, I will get rich because I'll outwork every man alive. Well, I will get in shape because I'll train like a beast every damn day. I will win because losing isn't even an option, and then back it with action so violent that failure has no room to breathe. Hope is for the weak. Action is for the strong. And this world doesn't reward the hopeful. It rewards the ruthless. That the reason most of you are stuck is simple. You refuse to face reality. You lie to yourself every single day. You tell yourself you're doing okay. You say things like, I've got time, I'm still young, I'll figure it out eventually. But deep down, you know you're failing. You're not where you want to be. You're behind, and it eats at you every night when your head hits the pillow. I've been there. I remember staring at my phone, checking my bank balance, negative, overdraft fees stacking up. I remember opening the fridge and seeing nothing but bottled water. No food, no backup plan. I was in a cold, damp apartment in England, and there were nights I had to sleep in my jacket because I couldn't afford heating. I hated every second of it. But here's the difference between me and most people. I didn't run from the pain. I didn't distract myself with Netflix or video games or some fake motivational BS. I faced it. I let it burn. Most of you don't have the balls to do that. You're too scared to look in the mirror and admit you're losing. So you create comfort. You scroll social media, binge watch shows, smoke weed, eat junk food. Anything to numb the reality that your life isn't what you wanted it to be. But you can't lie to yourself forever. Sooner or later, the truth shows up. The rent's due. Your girl leaves. Your body falls apart. You hit rock bottom. When I was fighting, reality was brutal every single day. You don't get to lie to yourself in the ring. The guy standing across from you doesn't care about your excuses. He doesn't care how tired you are, how much you trained, or how hard your life's been. He's there to hurt you. That's reality. You either fight back or you get destroyed. I remember a fight in Romania where I tore a ligament in my knee during training. I couldn't even walk properly the day before the match. Did I pull out? No. I taped it up, limped into the ring, and fought like a man possessed. Every step sent fire up my leg, but I refused to fold. Why? Because reality doesn't care about injuries. The promoters wouldn't pay me if I didn't fight. My bills wouldn't wait. Nobody was coming to bail me out. So I bit down on my mouth guard and kept going. That's what it takes. And that same principle applies to every part of life. Business, fitness, relationships, it's all the same. Reality is merciless. It doesn't care how bad you want it. It doesn't care if you had a tough childhood, if people doubted you, if you've been unlucky. It only respects results. When I started making real money, I still had obstacles. Banks froze my accounts because I was moving cash too fast. Regulators tried to shut me down. People I trusted betrayed me and stole from me. I could have sat there whining about how unfair it all was, hoping for a break. But I didn't. I accepted the chaos and adapted. I made calls. I found new systems. I rebuilt. Because I knew crying about reality wouldn't change it. Facing it would. You've got to wake up and realize the world isn't fair and it never will be. There's no magical moment where it gets easier. No one's handing you a map. It's kill or be killed. Build or be crushed. Winners understand this. Losers don't. That's why they spend years of preparing but never execute. They're waiting for a perfect moment that doesn't exist. The day you stop avoiding the hard truths and start attacking them head on is the day your life changes. You're broke? Own it. Don't pretend you're just getting started or waiting for the right opportunity. Admit you've wasted time and start hustling like your life depends on it. Because it does. You're out of shape? Admit it. Stop saying you'll hit the gym next week. Get up right now and put in the work. No one's coming to fix you. I don't care how bad your situation is. I don't care how unfair it feels. The universe doesn't hand out participation trophies. The only thing that counts is whether you can take the pain, take the setbacks, take the unfairness, and keep moving. That's reality. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you'll win. The truth is harsh, but it's the truth. Face it or stay stuck forever. The problem is you've been taught to feel instead of act. You've been conditioned to ask yourself, do I feel like doing it today? That's why you're weak. That's why your life is average. You operate on emotion, not discipline. You wait for motivation, you wait for the right mood, you wait for inspiration. You wait, and then another year goes by. Another year of you hoping instead of building. Hope is emotional. Hope is soft. Discipline is brutal. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask for permission. Discipline is what builds empires, bodies, wealth. Hope just builds excuses. When I was coming up, I didn't have the luxury of emotion. I couldn't afford to hope things would work out. I had to make them work. When I started my online business, I had no safety net. I wasn't playing around with side hustles while mommy covered the bills. I was either going to make money or I was going to starve. That kind of presses you or carves you into something ding-ding. And it carved me. There were nights I didn't sleep. Not because I was trying to be a motivational poster, but because there was no other option. I was doing everything. Running the systems, managing people, marketing, customer support, fixing problems when things broke. I had to learn it all from scratch. I wasn't sitting around watching productivity videos. I was too busy producing. There were times when I wanted to quit. Times when the stress got so intense I could barely breathe. But I didn't stop because my discipline overpowered my feelings. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. Not because some influencer said it's what winners do, but because my mind was already racing with problems to solve. I trained in the gym like a savage every day. Not because I felt like it, but because I refused to become weak. I kept a routine so tight, so aggressive, that even when I didn't want to move, my body had no choice. Discipline ran the show. Some of you have hope, but no habits. You dream of a better body, but skip the gym when it rains. You dream of success, but don't control your diet, your time, your schedule. You let life push you around, and then you wonder why you feel lost. It's because you're living in a fantasy. You think success just shows up one day. It doesn't. It's a result of relentless daily actions stacked over months, over years, without excuses. You want to replace hope? You need to build discipline like a machine, not occasionally, not when it's convenient. Every damn day, it's about doing what needs to be done even when you hate it. especially when you hate it. That's where winners are made. I remember when I was cutting weight for fights. I'd be drained, dehydrated, starving. I'd have a bucket next to me in case I threw up from the weight cut, but I still trained, I still ran, I still showed up because I understood something most people never will. Your emotions don't matter. Your feelings don't build anything, only action does. And that's the biggest problem with hope. It gives you an excuse to not act. You tell yourself, it's okay, things will get better. No, things get better when you get better. You're not stuck because the world is unfair. You're stuck because you haven't mastered yourself. You haven't built the mental fortress required to do what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Discipline is freedom. That's the irony. Most of you think discipline is restriction. You think a tight schedule and ruthless structure is prison. It's not. It's power. When you run your day like a killer, you control your outcomes. You no longer need to hope because you know what's coming. You know the work is being done. You know you're progressing. That eliminates fear. That kills anxiety. That's how real confidence is born. There was a time I was managing multiple girls, dealing with drama, handling payments, coding systems, and still fighting professionally. And even with all of that pressure, I never missed a session. I didn't flinch. Because my success wasn't built on emotion, it was built on war. Internal war. A war against comfort. A war against weakness. And I won because I chose discipline every single time. If you want to win, stop depending on how you feel. Start building systems that make failure impossible. Set your alarm. Get up the second it rings. Train when you're tired. Work when it's boring. Keep your word even when no one's watching. You want to escape your average life? Discipline is the only door out. Hope is for spectators. Discipline is for winners, and only one of them gets paid ... You need to understand something about winners. They don't hope. They don't pray for a miracle. They don't sit around waiting for someone to give them permission to succeed. Winners create outcomes. They force the universe to hand over what they want, whether it likes it or not. When I was dead broke, I didn't sit there hoping for some magic opportunity to land in my lap. I was in a freezing apartment in England with no food, no heating, no car, and no backup plan. I was in survival mode. I had to get creative. I had to figure out a way to turn nothing into something. That's how I started my first online business. Not because I had funding or a mentor or even a clue what I was doing, but because I was desperate enough to make it work. I remember staying up all night, staring at a laptop, eyes burning, teaching myself how to build websites, write sales copy, and run marketing campaigns. Every mistake cost me money I didn't have. Every failure felt like a punch in the gut, but I kept moving forward because I knew one truth: no one was coming to save me. No one cares about your dreams. No one's sitting around plotting how to make your life easier. It's all on you. People ask me all the time, how did you do it? How did you go from broke to multi-millionaire? And I tell them the same thing every time. I didn't hope. I worked. I executed. I out-hustled every single man alive. I didn't give myself an escape route or a safety net. I made success the only option. That's what winners do. They put themselves in situations where they either win or die. And don't think the obstacles stop once you start winning. They get bigger. When I finally started making money, suddenly I had other problems. Banks froze my accounts because I was moving too much cash too quickly. People I trusted stabbed me in the back and stole from me. Regulators tried to shut me down. I didn't sit there crying about how unfair it was or hoping it would sort itself out. I adapted. I shifted. I rebuilt. That's what it means to create outcomes. You don't fold when the pressure hits. You rise to it. Look around you. Most people are spectators in their own lives. They talk about their goals like they're watching a movie. One day I'll start my business. One day I'll get in shape. One day I'll get rich. But all one die never comes because they're waiting. Waiting for the stars to align. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for someone to give them permission to act. Winners don't wait. Winners don't ask. Winners take. When I was fighting professionally, I didn't train hoping I'd get lucky in the ring. I trained so hard I knew luck wouldn't matter. I ran until my legs gave out, sparred until my nose bled, pushed my body past every limit. When I stepped into that ring, I wasn't hoping for victory. I was certain of it. Because I created the conditions for it. It's the same in business. It's the same in life. You don't deserve success because you want it. You deserve success because you built it with your own two hands. You deserve it because you suffered for it, bled for it, obsessed over it, while everyone else was asleep. That's the reality. People love to talk about manifesting, about attracting success with positive energy. That's all nonsense. You don't attract success. You drag it, kicking and screaming into your life with relentless action. Winners aren't waiting for a sign from the universe. They are the sign. They're the storm. There were times I thought I couldn't keep going, times when the stress felt like it would crush me. But I pushed because I understood this simple law. If I didn't create my future, someone else would create it for me. And I wasn't about to live under another man's rules. So I built systems, I built habits, I built a mindset so dangerous that nothing could break it. And now I never have to hope for anything again because I know I can take whatever I want from this world. This is the truth most people will never accept. You're either a creator or a consumer. You're either writing your own story or you're living in someone else's. There's no middle ground. Winners create, losers hope. And if you don't know which one you are yet, look at your bank account, your body, your life. It's all the proof you need. Stop hoping. Start building. Stop dreaming. Start doing. Stop waiting. Start taking. Because in this life, nobody gives you what you want. You have to take it. Hope is a lie, and time is your enemy. You either wake up and take what's yours, or you'll die waiting like the rest of